Hey everyone, welcome to the channel where we love to talk about movies. Welcome especially if you're new. If you enjoy talking about movies and staying up to speed on what's in theaters and what's worth checking out, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a review. Alright, with that, let's get into today's review, which is for Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I just got back from seeing it at the theater, so we're going to dive right on in. So, in this movie, when a group of rich 20-somethings plan a hurricane party at a remote family mansion, a party game turns deadly in this fresh and funny look at backstabbing, fake friends, and one party gone very, very wrong. So yeah, that's a pretty good synopsis. I have seen a trailer or two for this, and I knew that it was made by A24, which I've actually liked a lot of their stuff kind of recently. But like some of them can be hit or miss. Like I think The Green Knight from last year was A24, and while I think it was really well done, it wasn't necessarily my favorite film. So I was curious to check this one out. I think I had heard something like this was A24's version of Scream, and it was kind of, but also not. It was not Scream, but it was its own thing. So let's. This is going to be a spoiler for your review. There's yeah, lots to get into, but yeah, I won't drop any spoilers, so no worries there. So the thing that I did like a lot about the film was the characters. I thought that they were very well suited for this type of movie, and while they are maybe not going to be the most relatable for everybody, they're fun to watch in the way that it's fun to watch, a teen drama, something like Riverdale or Pretty Little Liars. That it gave me vibes of that, where it's just fun to watch them on screen and kind of all the drama that they bring with them, and especially on that front. So this is a bunch of rich kids. They grew up. You can tell that they were pampered, and most of them have drug problems. They drink and that sort of thing, but they're a very tight circle, and so they also know everyone's like dirty little secrets. And yeah, that I think it definitely heightened the drama in the film and made it so that you kind of had suspicions about everybody going through the film as to who the murderer was. So I thought that was pretty well crafted. And again, it's sort of like a guilty pleasure that at least I enjoy these sort of things. Like like they're not teens, but like teen drama esque sort of things. Like it's good in small doses. You can definitely get an oversaturation of that, but it was fun for this film. I did really like the location as well. It takes place at a mansion of one of the friends in the group, and I thought that was another like kind of clever idea. I mean, it's not super original. There's plenty of murder mysteries that take place at mansions and rich people's houses, but for this movie, like getting to the location and not really knowing exactly how it's laid out and it being very big, just left it so that you just didn't really know, like as the characters are working their way through the house, you don't really know the whole layout, so it adds a bit to the tension that's there as they're going through it. And then I thought the cinematography was also pretty good. It had a very clean look, and it was also like a lot of like close-up shots, and there's a lot of dark because they have the party for a hurricane, and so naturally the lights go out, and it's dark for most of the film, other than what they can get through their phones. So I thought that was all really good setup and like believable setup for getting to be a like scary movie. Now it's not like it doesn't go full out on like the horror and the scariness. It's just you're kind of on the edge of your seat a little bit, and it's more of a mystery than like a horror movie. But that just made it a bit more something that I prefer to palette, and I'm not super into horror, so I like the ones that stay on kind of this side of it. And yeah, I thought it was. I don't appreciate the sort of horror movies where it's just very contrived to get you on the edge of your seat. So I thought this one was well done for that. And then lastly, I thought that the mystery was good. Now I did solve it, and I think I solved it probably about halfway through, and to figure out who the murderer was. And it wasn't necessarily but it wasn't overly obvious. So I solidly had my guess about halfway through of who it was, and that turned out to be right. But I wasn't so thoroughly convinced that I didn't have like my backup guess ready and like still kind of thinking about it the whole way through. So Yeah, I think it's nice. I think for mysteries, it's usually my favorite if I can figure it out either like just before they tell you, or if they tell you and you're like, dang, I should have seen that. Like one of those two. So the fact that I saw it coming a little like halfway through the film, I thought was a little early, but I still did appreciate it, and there were aspects of it that I didn't fully figure out. But we won't go into any more detail than that. So yeah, I thought the mystery was good, not great, but it was nice to get one, yeah, that I could solve because they don't all go that way. But yeah, overall, those are the things that I liked about the film. Nothing really jumps out at me as far as something that I didn't really like. So yeah, overall, I'd say it's a pretty positive reaction, and I thought about maybe putting it in the A tier, but I think overall it's a solid B, probably upper B. Very yeah, it's good overall. It's one that I enjoyed. There just wasn't anything quite in particular done like well enough that connected with me to get it into the A tier. And that's kind of usually what I'm looking for, is something in particular that I really liked about the film. So this one didn't have it. I thought like kind of across the board, each aspect was done well, but nothing like super like exceeded my expectations or yeah got it quite into that next tier. But it's one I'd recommend though. I think it's worth checking out. It was yeah definitely a fun watch, and if you're going to the theaters, I think it's worth the watch. If you're not big into horror, then yeah it's not a super strong like horror genre movie, so that it might be for you, but you know hopefully it also doesn't turn you off knowing that it's not super strong horror. If that's what you're looking for, just you know gauge your expectations accordingly going in. But if you've had a chance to see the film, though, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Were you able to figure out who the murderer was? You know, try to keep it spoiler free though, and just a simple like yes or no. Were you able to figure it out? I'd love to yeah hear you know your thoughts on a film down below. And if you enjoyed this review, be sure to smash that like and subscribe button so you never miss a video. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next review.